This week on Motorhead Garage, Brian and John check out a McLaren supercar, work on boosting cell phone reception, and learn a novel way to protect your vehicle from rust. Next on Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. This is automotive heaven in the shop today. We're looking at a McLaren P1 GTR, which is the racing version of the McLaren P1 road-going supercar. It's one of the greatest examples of automotive engineering on the planet today. It's one of less than 40 of these ever built. And thankfully, I'm joined by Kevin of McLaren of Philadelphia, who's an expert on this deal. Kevin, first off,
how you doing, Brian?
Thank you so much for bringing this thing in today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
It is incredible from end to end.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're looking at a car here that really is the pinnacle of what we know of automotive technology today.
Right, absolutely. They really pushed the boundaries. They ripped everything out of the book of how to build a car and did it over again. And this is what happens when the engineers get to do whatever they want to do.
Especially on a racing version, like you said, engineers can run wild. I mean, aerodynamically on the front, we're seeing these little canard wings on the side, the big front splitter. But I think the real magic of this car starts to reveal itself when we get to look in the guts. So if you won't mind pulling the nose off of this, which is secured by the awesome quick latches as it removes the nose. Again, all carbon fiber construction. This is literally a rocket on wheels, man. This thing's incredible.
Yeah. So they built everything out of carbon fiber, a couple different weaves that they used, depending on what kind of structure they wanted to do. Obviously, you can see the different thicknesses of the weaves. Everything out of carbon fiber, very strong, very light, very fast.
We're going to work our way down the car here. We're going to take a look at the inside because just in the steering wheel alone, there's enough to do an entire show on.
Absolutely.
Well, Kevin, as I mentioned, one of the things, maybe it sounds weird to say, but one of the things that really starts to show us how much technology is packed in this car is actually the steering wheel. And we look at it, there's a bunch of different functions we have control of here. And, you know, we can also look at some of the awesome display on the dash. But when I look at the wheel, I see this iPass button, and that speaks to the integrated drivetrain the car has. Very powerful twin-turbo V8, but also what's augmenting that V8.
Right, so this is a hybrid vehicle, so it has about a 200 horsepower electric motor strapped to the side of that 700 horsepower.
And this iPass button is my ticket to fun with that electric motor, right?
Yeah, if you're in manual boost mode, you're in full control of that 200 horsepower.
So anytime I hit this button, I'm going to get that extra 200 horsepower boost. And now in the center of the wheel, I have these two kind of thumb switches here. What are these doing?
Right, so the left side is the powertrain control. That basically just controls the aggressiveness of how the engine works. The right side is the handling system, so you can change the pressures in the suspension system.
Well, we've seen the inside. Now we got to get to the business end of this thing. I can't wait to get a look at the actual mechanicals that shove this car down the racetrack.
Let's do it.
Well, Kevin, a couple of quick latch buttons, and off comes the clamshell back here, and it exposes quite literally the belly of the beast, man. Powertrain-wise, I can see the top of the intake manifold. There's a lot going on here, but again, tell me what the actual engine is in this car.
So it's a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V8. It's making just under 800 horsepower. Strapped to the left side of that is a 200 horsepower electric motor that drives in between in the hybrid drive assembly, straight through the transmission to the rear wheels.
It's amazing because it's beautiful, it's exotic. The exhaust is that interesting color because it's made out of Inconel, which is an incredible alloy, very lightweight. And then, you know, when I'm looking at this plumbing here, we mentioned it earlier, but this is not fuel line, this is not transmission plumbing, this is actually suspension.
So this is the magic of the car. So McLaren came out and they rewrote how to build a suspension system. This is hydraulics. This is the roll circuit. There's a front heave circuit and a rear heave circuit. The roll circuit ties each side to side and caddy corner. So instead of having a mechanical link left to right, it's all hydraulic. So there's a little bit more compliance. There's not, if you upset this side of the car, that side's not going to be upset.
Well, absolutely, and I would imagine if you're driving this thing, you know, granted this is a race car, but the street version, I understand, uses a similar version of the suspension.
Yeah, there's not much on this car that you won't find on the street car.
So if I'm driving my street car down a normal street, everything's cool. The hydraulics are going to basically have me in a nice, smooth, kind of balanced ride, but as soon as I get on the racetrack, I'm going to have the kind of level handling I want. I mean, this thing will pull upwards of 1.5 G, I believe, in the corners, and which is just, it'll shift your entire kind of organs around your rib cage.
It makes you see crooked. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. The fabrication is unbelievable. Everything about this, again, is the pinnacle of automotive technology. And there's actually some great pieces on this car, as you well know, that you don't need a millionaire to afford, and will be awesome for your project at home, whether it's a hot rod or anything else you got going on. We'll be back with more about those products right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Quick Latch, quality hood pins and push-button fasteners. Advertising Edge, custom branding solutions and promotional products. Exalta Coating Systems, we paint winners. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, we all might not be as fortunate to drive around in an impressive multi-million-dollar McLaren like we have in Motorhead Garage today, but you know, just as impressive is the actual latch system that holds everything together from the front of this car to the rear. This thing's utilizing Quick Latch, and I'm here with Brian from Quick Latch. Now, Brian, tell me the story, man. How'd you get hooked up with McLaren?
Well, John, first of all, thank you very much for having us back on the show again. It's a pleasure to be here, especially with this ultra-exclusive P1 GTR here. The way that we found out initially about the latches being installed on the car, there's a exotic car detailer named Jeff Jacobs out of California. He tagged us in one of his finished detail photos. And so we did a little bit more further investigation, and we saw a few YouTube videos by David Lee, and then Kyle Lindsay also did a review of the P1 GTR. And when we noticed the product on the vehicle, we just had to get a closer look at it, because initially we didn't know that McLaren was utilizing our product.
And that speaks volumes for your product. I mean, this thing's on the front, latch in the front, all the way to the back. I mean, it's super easy to use. We used them before here on Motorhead Garage. But tell our viewers, what is Quick Latch and how does it work?
So it's basically a push-button release mechanism. Regardless of what size it is, it all functions the same way. What you have is a ball-bearing spring-loaded internal receiver, and the ball pin just pushes directly into it like that. So to release it, you push the release button like that and push back to engage. These are incredibly strong. They hold 150 pounds of static pull force per latch. So for its size, it's incredibly strong. I also took the opportunity today to bring to you guys our latest creations, which is the QL38 series. They also function the exact same way, except these are much stronger. They withstand up to 500 pounds of static pull force per latch.
Pops on the same way, releases the same way, just a lot more strong.
Correct.
A lot more strength built into it. Cool.
Yes, sir. And then also we have the QL38 lockable hood pin kit.
So what do? I lock it on?
So you lock it in, and once the pin is engaged, you turn the lock 90 degrees to clockwise.
All right.
Once that lock has turned 90 degrees, you cannot depress the release button.
Oh, great. So if I have any panels or anything I want to secure in a car or either other applications, I can go ahead and use this. I can lock it and then do it like the other way. Unlock it, and then it's just going to be able to release. So I'm in good shape there.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for an added layer of security, this is an ideal model for you.
Now you got different shapes and sizes and different colors. Tell us about all the different products.
Yes, so our current model line encompasses 4 different varieties: black anodized, blue anodized, machined aluminum, and red anodized for the mini quick latches. For our QL38s, they come in ceramic black or machined aluminum, and not shown here is polished, but we have polish available as well.
And sizes?
Sizes range from, on the mini quick latches, 0.875 all the way to 1.5 inch upper diameter. The QL38s have a 1 3/4 inch diameter, and also our QL50 series has a 2.5 inch upper diameter.
Tell us about some applications, some car applications we can use it, and then we'll look at some aftermarket, some other things.
Okay, so yeah, on automotive applications, they can be utilized from anything from an exterior body panel, especially front bumpers, because on modern automobiles, the front bumpers have flimsy plastic clips that often break, and a lot of our customers are looking for a way to get the bumper alignment back into alignment without having to buy OEM clips again. That's been one of the most popular applications for the 25 series mini quick latches. Also, you've got interior components that you can utilize them in: glove boxes, center consoles, things of that nature, deck lids on the exterior. Basically anything that you need quick access to, you can utilize these parts for.
And that's the beauty of it. I mean, one push button, bam, it's coming undone. I'm ready to remove that piece. Secure, very stout, great product. Also, what about some other applications, maybe not in the automotive world?
So we've actually had multiple industries utilize these, everything from yacht manufacturers to cabinetry makers, custom home builders, even a custom cooler manufacturer.
Yeah, and the custom cooler, I got it right here. This is really cool because, you know, some of the coolers, maybe the latches over time deteriorate, but the cooler may last forever. So this is pretty neat. The latch is located right there. All I got to do is just push the latch down, Bam, it's open. Now the really neat part is, right, when it closes, that's it, and it's open, it's sealed. You're not gonna have any issues with that. And I have my cooler forever, and it's usually the latch that gives out. Hey, tell us where you can find it on the web.
You can find us at www.quicklatch.com. That's Q-U-I-K with a dash in the middle, latch.com.
Well, very cool. Hey, if McLaren uses it, I'm sure trusting in it. And if McLaren uses it, you should trust in it as well. Just go to the website, get you some quick latches. You saw all the applications. It's really cool. Brian's not riding in the McLaren. I am. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, you never really know how much rust is under one of these vehicles till you get it up in the air. But no worries, we got Joe from New Hampshire Oil Undercoating. Joe, you got something for this older car that has existing rust, and you also have some products for some new cars that may not have any rust. Why don't you take us through these products?
All right, so they're both equally as effective. The newer vehicles, 90% of our customers will come in and they'll opt to get a wax and oil service, which is the wax is what you'd expect from a conventional undercoating. It's a black, almost like a bed lining material. That is a one-time standalone application, goes over everything that's exposed on the undercarriage. Then we use a combination of the oil. The oil goes inside the body cavities, which is really the critical area because rust starts from the inside out. Those areas are, they hold the moisture, they're damp, they're unprotected. So we put them on a maintenance plan. Every 2 years they come back, we inspect the surface, we stay on top of it. Nothing is going to happen in that 2-year period that we can't get a handle on. And the oil works from the inside out. It will creep inside 6, 7, 8 inches on a warm month.
Now walk us through the oil. We did it on a prior show, but some of our viewers may not have seen it. How about the oil product?
Very low technology, simple to understand. You know, you put oil on the surface, and unlike a conventional undercoating product, it will displace moisture. It will cut the oxygen off. Once you deprive it of either of those two, you take them out of the equation, you stop oxidation. So as long as product is on that surface, there is no oxidation occurring.
Now, rust isn't glamorous. I mean, neither is spraying it. Can I do this?
You could. You could do it, or if you have a mechanic in your area that is a detail-oriented guy, we can set him up. He can offer this to his customers and extend the service life of the vehicle as well.
Do you offer the tools to do it?
We offer training at our facility. We offer tools. We have a carbide tip airless, air-assisted spray system that operates right out of a 55-gallon drum. You could buy a small cup gun, 5 gallons. You could do it yourself. You could be a garage and spend very little money and get in to the service and just to see if it works for you.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that new product. Tell me a little bit about that wax.
The wax is a black resin wax that is applied to a rust-free surface. It is a standalone one-time application. Basically, the way it works is, you know, the way back in the 80s, the asphalt, Rusty Jones type product, it will just protect the surface. The critical thing is maintenance, coming in every year or 2 years and allowing us to maintain that protection. It's all about maintenance. It's all about thinking proactively.
So if I get a new car, I can get that put on there?
Yeah, we have close to 70 dealers now, and we're working our way out. There's 278 million vehicles registered in the United States. I'd say conservatively 100 million of them are affected by corrosion. You spend $50,000, $60,000 on a pickup truck, I would say a couple $100 a year is a good investment.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, it's $300 billion as annual damage of rust on vehicles. I mean, that's a pretty big number.
Yeah, the $200 a year doesn't seem so bad when you think about a rocker panel for $800 to $2,500 for a set of rocker panels or brake lines, not to even mention safety aspect of that.
Now we should just throw some oil on. Now this is no drip, eco-friendly. We're not going to have a problem with any of this?
No, it is a environmentally friendly no drip product. This is a mineral-based product. There are natural corrosion inhibitors in it. Even the tint is a graphite biodegradable product. It is a unregulated, non-hazardous product that anyone can use and not worry about adversely affecting the environment.
Now where can they go find this product? You got a website?
NHOilUndercoating.com
Oh, that's pretty easy.
or 1-855-OIL-RUST.
There you go. Well, folks, you got a $50,000 investment. I want to get some of that new product on mine, or you can use any of this spray. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. Hindsight Vision Systems, the only totally portable and wire-free camera and monitor system. Rod End Supply, we don't just sell them, we race them. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Classic cars, muscle cars, and hot rods. We love them here at Motorhead Garage. Machines like the Chevelle sitting behind us are fantastic to get out there in the open road, but they're typically not daily drivers. This week's ZMax Minute, I'm talking with Lenny about classic cars and ZMax.
Extend the life of the car and improve its performance. That's what ZMax does. It's able to clean the fuel system, clean the engine, and be able to help make that thing roar like you want it to. And by soaking into the metal, protect that metal. No matter how old the car is, help protect it and extend its life that much longer. ZMax is the product for classics and hot rods.
Well, it's fantastic. Cars that are infrequently driven, we have a couple of problems. One, when we're starting these things, you want that extra lubricity that the micro lubricant's giving you because it's in the metal, because typically the oil's all drained into the pan. Secondly, talk to me about moisture.
Oh my gosh, you know, you've got these ethanol fuels that are out there and so many different ways that moisture can get in. Well, ZMax pushes through the fuel system, makes sure that the lubricity that you're talking about is within the metal, cleans, protects, extends the engine life. That's what you need to know ZMax will do for your hot rod or classic car.
Muscle car therapy is something all of us need, and the worst feeling in the world is when you get in there, you hit the key, and it doesn't happen for you because of a various set of reasons. Or another kind of horrible situation is you haven't driven your car all winter, it's sat, you haven't taken the step to make sure ZMax is part of your maintenance program, and you got a whole world of problems, your whole driving season shot out the window.
ZMax soaks into the metal, and it stays there throughout that downtime. It is there when you need it to turn that key and go like you want to go with your classic or hot rod.
This thing's got a big block in it. It now has ZMax in it, and we're going to go do burnouts. If you want more information on ZMax, go to ZMax.com.
Now everybody has a cell phone. You know, they work great, but a cell phone's only as good as the signal you get. And right now, I'm not getting much of a signal. I'm here with LaRue from Selfie. Now, LaRue, you guys got the answer. You're going to give me a good signal so I can get it anywhere. Your business is really cool. We're talking about mobile products, but let's start out with where did you guys start?
So we've been around since 2006. We're headquartered in San Diego, and basically we started out as doing a in-building solution for the wireless industry for cellular. So what we do is we had in-building coverage inside, and we took all of that and decided to, hey, make a mobile product with it. So this product is actually designed to go inside of a vehicle.
Now tell me about the product. I mean, what does it actually do?
So what it does is it has an antenna that goes on the outside of the vehicle, and it has an antenna that goes on the inside of the vehicle. And what it does is it creates a bubble of coverage inside using the donor signal that's outside.
So this is the antenna for the outside, then you route one on the inside. What is this component?
So that's the unit itself, and it's basically what is the brains of everything. So what it does is it actually takes the signal, it's got a million lines of code in it that basically varies its power up and down, so you never overdrive the network. You're always having coverage, and it's always maybe if you don't need it or you do need it, it varies its power so that you always have your signal.
Now give us some examples. What would be good uses for this?
So you could, if you're a delivery driver, if you're an Uber driver, if you're a daily driver, it just depends on if you need service wherever you're going. So if you're in a business where you have to be there and you got to be on your phone, which most people are these days, then this is going to help you out. Now,
what about networks? I got Verizon. I know if I go to different places, I may have to switch networks and stuff. Am I going to have to switch the whole system?
No, actually, the good thing about this is it's carrier agnostic, which basically means it's one carrier at any given time. However, let's say you're on AT&T or Verizon today and you switch. Well, there's a software called Wave that you can actually, it's free, you download it from the App Store, and it allows you to switch to another carrier. And we support AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile.
Now, it looks really good. I mean, it's weatherproof, it's going to be tough, applications, marine, everything?
Absolutely. So it's IP67 rated, which means it's ruggedized. It's weatherproof. It's NEMA rated, which means it can be used in and around water. And so you can put it on a boat, or you can put it in somewhere outside or the conditions inside of a vehicle where it's bumpy, dusty, dirty, and you got no problem.
Now, Brian's going to show us how easy it is to install.
So while John and LaRue were talking, we got some packages in from Rock Auto. We're going to show you those and what we're doing with that stuff a little bit later on. But I also had a chance to start the install here on the Go unit, and it's incredibly straightforward. I mean, we're talking about basically 3 wires that you're not even really cutting into the wiring harness of the vehicle. So no matter what type of vehicle you have, this happens to be an F-150 pickup truck, you're going to be able to find a nice easy locating spot to mount this baby. And we've gone ahead and put it underneath what's going to be the rear seat. This folds up. When it folds down, it's completely hidden. After that, we basically have to run our exterior antenna and then run a wire to the front of the vehicle, or whichever kind of area you'd like to put it, preferably the front, for the interior antenna. And the way this works is really simple. It's pulling the cell signal from out in the open, and it's going to pull it in here, and we're going to amplify it inside the vehicle to give you the great signals. So we have a couple things to hook up here. The first is going to be our exterior antenna. The wires are all provided. I went ahead and mounted this box down here with a couple of screws to the floor of the truck. That's screwed in this side. Go ahead and put my front antenna in on the other side of the box. They're both labeled, very easy. You can't really make a mistake. There's pictures, which me and John love pictures. Then the last thing we do is apply power. Now this is 12-volt power supply. It's going to go and screw into the front of the box. And again, for us in the F-150, we actually have a 12-volt power supply right here that we can plug into. It is a really, really nice product, and if you're somebody like me, I spent a couple years driving a delivery truck when I got out of college because, well, I wasn't that smart in college, but I'd get out into rural areas and lose signal and not be able to find where I was going. This is the perfect thing for you if you got any sort of driving job. LaRue, come on in, man. If you got any sort of driving job, if you're a vocational driver, if you're an Uber driver, or if you just want to get back and forth to work in a rural area, this is perfect, man.
Absolutely. Yep. Very easy, very simple to install, and guaranteed service.
LaRue, where can we learn more about this on the web?
You can go to our website, which is www.cel-fi.com.
Well, thank you very much for coming in, LaRue. That's going to do it for this episode of Motorhead Garage. If you have a cool product you'd like to see here in the Motorhead Garage set, contact Jeff at masterstv.com. Maybe you'll find yourself right here in the spacious confines of Motorhead Garage. We'll see you next week.